Hi, Jim Wilmot here, Chair of Property Rights Australia. I just want to give our members and everyone that is connected to our Facebook site and organisation an update on the reckless rollout of renewables currently in Australia. What we're seeing, and everyone hopefully is aware of what's happening in Australia, where the government is rapidly rolling out industrialised renewables on a lot of freehold land right across Victoria, Tasmania, New South Wales, South Australia and Queensland. Each state is at various stages of implementation, and the resulting impacts out of that on particularly rural and regional communities. Really, each state is, I guess, has a lot of the same impacts, and some are slightly different. We're seeing a lot of, I guess, fragmenting of and division in rural communities, where we have some particular landholders signing up as hosts for wind factories or solar factories or large battery systems, and their neighbours aren't signing up or don't get offered it, nor do people around that whole community. And that causes division and suspicion in community, the haves and the have-nots. And also, it also impacts people's, I guess, amenity of the area, the rural aesthetics. And there's also big issues that have come out now in regards to public liability insurance. There's a whole host of issues as well in the social implications, where it's actually destroying the cohesion of rural communities, again, with that division, the haves and have-nots, who's a host, who's not, but also the impact on property values. That's real and that's happening. And the impact also on the environment, where we see large tracts of riparian vegetation being cleared on whether it's in down south or in our own state here in Queensland, up the top of coastal mountain ranges, where they're actually levelling the top of these ranges to put these monstrosities on. And everyone thinks, well, you know, there's a lot of people that are talking about this in our industry groups and with our government-owned corporations. And unfortunately, they're talking about all the good things that they think is going to come out of this industrialisation of our rural and regional landscapes. They're not talking about any of the negative impacts. And I guess as chair of PRA, and I have some really good people in action groups that are helping me, and the National Rational Energy Network that's been established at a national level that helps get the message out. We are all working in tandem to get the message out about what those negative impacts are for the community, because honestly, the government, their cohorts and the corporations don't want to talk about it. They don't want to listen, and they only want to tell the perceived good stories. And really, as chair, I am sick to tired of our industry bodies that are supposed to represent our views, our governments and their corporations, trying to me, fool us and downplay the impact on what we're seeing is one of the biggest land grabs ever in Australian history. And quite frankly, if they think the rural communities of Australia are going to let this industrialisation of our landscapes occur unchecked, without social licence, they've got another thing coming, because communities are digging in their heels and they're not going to take it. They are going to go political on this, and good luck to them. That's what needs to happen, because really, I don't think people in power really want to listen. And unfortunately, rural communities, individuals right through to whole communities, we are lemmings to the cliff. We are collateral damage under this strategy. And even though our government's own, I guess, recent study, recent inquiry into, I guess, the effectiveness on consultation carried out by renewable energy companies was rubbish, and that hasn't improved. Quite fact, now governments have dug their heels in, like take Victoria, for example, and have streamlined the approval process for renewable developments, and really cutting down the time individual landholders or communities have in actually standing up and lobbying against these new developments. So they're actually putting more hands in the power of government to fast track these development. And so where's the social license in that? The reason why these projects were getting slowed down with the instruments in place now to put submissions in is because communities haven't given them social license, and we're getting locked out of that. So look, what we've really been doing, and especially like myself as chair and a few other community champions, which there is heaps of them around Australia, have been getting out and making sure communities that mightn't have heard or have only listened to one side of the story get the full picture. And once they've given the full picture and hear the full picture, they're shocked, and basically they're awake and they join the fight. We've talked to literally thousands and thousands of people in the last 6 months. We've had rallies at the nation's capital in many major cities, and we will continue to stand up to this ill-advised energy policy being trotted out by our state and federal governments.